Now remember, as you're working through these comping patterns, that just changing the rhythm a little bit will make a huge difference. And I'm talking about two different ways of looking at that. First, you can change the rhythm of the overall phrase, but also you can change the rhythm of where you're starting that comping pattern. All that's going to change up how it sounds, and many times when you're playing with a group, you may have to change it a little bit based on the groove that the bass player and the drummer are playing. So keep that in mind as you're working on these comping patterns, that if you just change the rhythm up or change where you're starting them, it's going to make a big difference. Now let's take a closer look. All right, the next comping pattern, we're going to add one more thing into our 4-to-1 pattern. Just to review, we have our first finger across the 8th fret, playing a B flat, an E flat, and a G, and we're going to hammer on our second finger onto the 9th fret, and then we bar here with our 3rd finger to play a C, an F, and an A at the 10th fret, and then the new one is going to be this. We're going to have first finger at the 10th fret on the D string on a C, G on the 12th fret of the G string with our ring finger, then our second finger is on the B flat on the 11th fret of the E string, and this is how it's going to sound. Now on to the first fret. Now we can do a little embellishment here. So now I'm hammering on and off that E flat to E, which is nice. There's a lot of ways you can play this pattern. So this is a very, very important pattern to get together. See, I'm changing in that 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and so many different possible ways you could play this. Alright, so a lot of different ways that you can move this. I was just trying to quickly jump to another one to show you. You don't have to worry about doing both these, but it's all using this same pattern. And you know, theoretically what's going on again is we got a C chord. Remember, we're in our first chord is C. This is outlining a C7 chord because we got the flat 7 here on the B flat. The 3rd on the G string is the E, and then a G up to 5th. And then we're going to the 4 chord. And then when we go up to here, we're going to C, G, and B flat, which is notes of the 1 chord. So we're really going like C chord to F chord to back to the C chord. So we're just alternating back and forth as we move through the pattern. Here's another pattern. 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 1. Now you can start varying this. literally hundreds of patterns that blues guitar players have come up with these 3 chords. So starting experimenting, and you'll see it's a very useful pattern. Alright, so check that out. Lots of different ways to play that, so don't be afraid to experiment around with starting from different chords of this 3 chord pattern, because believe me, all the blues players have done it. Come up with, like I said, hundreds of different patterns that you can use for this type of comping. And of course it can be used in combination with your other types. You can get a lot of variety. Just start mixing up all these different comping patterns. I think you'll see it's cool. You could also mixing it up with the muting all this with my right hand. Alright, so check that out and start, using all these different patterns together. Either have one guitar player in the band playing one and you're playing these kind of comping patterns, or, like I just did, you can put them all together and just be the one guitar player and sound like 2 guitar players at once. So all very useful stuff when you're playing a blues.